Welcome to It Is What It Is, a true crime podcast. I'm your host, Shamri. Hopefully everybody's having a good start to the Mondays. Today's episode is about Riley Fox, and it is a fan pick episode from a sweet lady named Cynthia. It always reminds me of the Rugrats every time I hear that name. So I always say it like that because that's what it reminds me of. But she picked it, and I just have to apologize that she sent it to the podcast email, and I don't get emails very often, so I just don't check it very often. And then I checked it, and she only had to wait like a day or two for like a response, because for some reason, I think I remember what it was. I was like needing my YouTube password or something. I don't know. I needed to check it. And her beautiful thing was there. So she says, and she spells my name the same way everybody does. It's so funny. She spells it S-H-A space and then Marie. That's not how you spell my name. Because I guarantee you when you say my name, you pause too. And it's all together. Shamri. Shamri. Beautiful wording, yes. Correct wording. Just all together. Anyway, she says, how about you do a podcast on Riley Fox? Listening forward to it. And so I, of course, was like, who is that? I've never heard of this story before. I Googled it, told her she got it. She says she's all excited. Well, she didn't say excited. She said awesome. And then that she loves my podcast, which thank you very much. And she says, keep it going, girly. I will, just for you. Just don't go anywhere. Okay. So then I YouTube Googled all that fun jazz and heard the horrible, horrible, horrible story about Riley Fox. And it is extremely sad and horrible, and she's the same age as my daughter is right now, my baby, my youngest. And so oh my God, I did a lot of crying, and I'm better. So this story happened in Illinois, in Wilmington, Illinois, and in 2014. She was born in 2001 on March 31st. And she was murdered on June 6th, 2004. She was 3 years old, like I said. And it's just... Okay, so I'll tell you what happened. I can't just give you my version of it. Must tell you exactly what happened. On June 6th, 2004, the night of her disappearance, her father, Kevin, had picked up her and her brother from a grandma's house around 1 a.m. His children's beds were not made, and he was just too tired. He had been out and with, I believe it was his brother, and she had a brother who was 3 years older than her, so he was 6 years old, she was 3 years old. He puts the brother in a living room chair and her on the couch, and she had a little yellow blanket. And he went to his room, he went watching TV, he fell asleep, and this is around 1 o'clock. He falls asleep around 2:30. The next morning, her brother goes and wakes up the dad and tells him that she's missing, that he can't find her. And so that's a 6-year-old telling his dad that the 3-year-old is missing. So, I mean, I can't even imagine. So he checks with the neighbors. They don't see her. So he does the right thing. He calls the police. So the whole community bands together, and they searching for her high and low. And this mother and a daughter, which... I can't even imagine being the one to find her. She was found dead at a wooden forest place and some water. I don't know. Forsyth Woods. It's a public park a few miles from Wilmington, according to Wikipedia. She was found face down in the creek. She had been bound, gagged, sexually assaulted, and had been drowned. Which, for a 3-year-old, like, could you even imagine? Like, I couldn't even imagine that. That's so horrible. So, what really got me about this one is my all-time favorite person, who one day, hopefully, I will ever get a chance to meet this lady, Kathleen Zellner, represented her father, because Kevin, get this, like months after it happened, was arrested for her murder. And when they did the investigation, what they call an investigation into this sweet little baby girl's death, there was a white pair of shoes in, like, the heavy, thick, muddy part of that lake area where she was found. And so the shoes were there, kind of like, quicksand and, like, I don't know. Yeah, quicksand's a good example, kind of, except for it didn't go all the way down. Anyway, so there's shoes. And inside the shoes, it says EB. And the cops at the time, in 2001, were like, 2004, were like, someone lost their shoes. Totally not connected. Because the shoe size of the dad didn't fit the shoe size of the shoes found. So they were set on blaming the dad. Like, these cops were focused in on Kevin. It was all Kevin. And so, I didn't even tell you where the wife was. The wife, at the time of Riley's disappearance, was in another state doing a cancer run, a benefit for cancer. And so she wasn't even home. She gets this gut feeling that every mother gets. I swear every mother gets it. And she just gets this feeling that she needs to call him. And so when she calls Kevin, her friends that she was there at the race with say the minute she calls Kevin, like, her whole facial expression and everything changes. She goes white as a ghost. She tells her friends. They drive back and help with the search. So anyway, the mother and daughter find this baby girl. We're going on with the story. So when they find her, and the cops go and do their shoddy investigation, they don't make it seem like, I didn't feel like, at least watching the 2020 I didn't feel like at first that the cops really thought it was Kevin. Why the shoes and everything were overlooked. They didn't overlook them because they did take them to evidence, but they just didn't think that it was, like, connected to Riley's situation. So why they didn't put those two together, I'm not 100% sure. Up until, like, obviously they find out who it is, because his last name is written on the tongue of the shoes. So the EB dude's name is. So like I said, he's in prison. He's going up for the damn death penalty. Like, they want to kill this man. And these officers, like, beat him into confessing. Like, they didn't physically put hands on him. But this is months after his daughter's dead, right? They call the wife and the dad, the mom and the dad, down. And the parents, on their way there, they're like, oh my God, today's the day we're going to get answers. We're going to find out today what happened to our beautiful, and I'm not, like, beautiful. She had beautiful black hair. And, like, I don't know, this baby girl was just so beautiful. You could, like, she had so much light in her face. But, so they think that this is the day, like, we're going to find out. So they're bracing, you know what I mean? They're preparing. And he, has just gotten off of work. He went to work that morning at 4:30 in the morning, and this is way later in the day. So I mean, like, he has already been up for God knows how long. I'm assuming he was up before 4:30, because who wakes up and then goes straight to work? I do. Anyway, so they get there and immediately they are separated. They are taken apart, and he's taken back to like this creepy little small room, and they're like yelling at him. They're like, "You motherfucker, you fucking did it. You killed your fucking daughter." And like, just vicious, man. Like, they're just going after him. They show him, oh my God, they show him a picture of his baby, all duct taped and bound, and I cannot even imagine that being the last sight of my child. Like, oh my God. Ugh. Anyway, so 14 fucking hours, bro, was this investigation, like this interrogation. For 14 hours, they grilled this man and harassed this man, and like, she was sexually assaulted. So they said the most horrific things to this father. And the whole time, he's ready to fight these fucking cops. He's like, dude, I did not do shit. Like, he is ready to blow blows. Like, he's like, motherfucker, say it one more time. Put my hands on you. Like, you could tell. Like, you can just... And they shut the videotape off. Like, through their interrogation, they shut it off. Like, who shuts off the... Right there, you automatically, in my opinion, know that is some shady ass shit. If you gotta turn the cameras off, we being shifty. Like, that's the only reason we're being shifty. And even some lady in the neighborhood, even, like, I don't know. There were so many things the cops just didn't pay attention to. Not only is this man, like, violently telling them, I did not do anything to my daughter. I didn't do anything. And he's even using cuss words, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, he's doing everything in his power. He even, like, they say, do our lie detector, he does it. And of course, they do the whole, you lied. And then they get him on this, one cop comes in all dramatic and is like, okay, so they're going to give you misdemeanor charges on manslaughter, whatever have you. You can bond out. Well, he thinks in his mind, which I see where he's coming from, he's thinking in his mind, okay, if I tell these people what they want to know, 1, I get to go. I'm going to be able to leave. 2, I can fix this. I can tell them what I want, because he, according to him, did say he wanted a lawyer. According to him, was not given what he had asked. So he thinks in his head it's as easy as telling them what they want to hear. I leave. I get a lawyer. I get that shit thrown out. And this whole horrible situation is gone. Is his train of thought. Which, I mean, that's a normal train of thought. When you didn't do it, you just... And, like, imagine that. 14 hours after you've already been up for a hot second. You're constantly being yelled at. Being called names. Oh, and then at one point in time, they even let his wife into the interrogation room. And they're like, he fucking murdered your daughter. He did it. The lie detector test says so. He did it. And she straight tells him, eyeball to eyeball, I know you didn't. I got you. Like, I believe you 110%. You did not do this. And the minute she starts saying that, the cops are like, nope, get out. This is backfiring. Ma'am, you need to leave. If you're not mad at him, I'm going to need you to get the hell out. Thanks. So, his brother is the one who hires Miss Zellner for him. And I've gushed about her a million. She's amazing. Like, she's just so talented. And, like, being a lawyer is telling a story. It's getting up there with your facts, your evidence, and telling them your version of the story. And she is just beautiful. In the parts where you are like, oh, that is so, like, that's common fucking sense. She tells you in a way, it's like the nicest way of being like, are you stupid? Are you dumb? Here's how this makes sense. And then she lays it out for you. And then you're like, oh, well, now I feel dumb. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. She's just beautiful. Very talented. So anyway, they ignore, she comes in and she finds out that the police in this situation ignore so much more than just the shoes. One neighbor's house was broken into. She is robbed same night, right across the street. These cops are like, no connection. Then they're like, the neighborhood's like, oh, we saw a red car. And they're like, oh, no, you didn't. Because we saw a fucking grimy ass videotape from a gas station, and it must have been the dad's car. So, no, you didn't. And so, obviously, she comes in and she's like, okay, is there DNA? Because that's what she does. She finds that DNA and she gets it tested. And if it turns out to be you, you're burnt. If it turns out not to be you, you're getting out of jail. Like, she's doing her damn thing. And she's, right now, is one of the cases that she's doing right now is Stephen Avery. So that's going to be pretty cool. Anyway, so, and when she meets you and talks to you is when she gets that feeling. So she gets this DNA, it's saliva from the little girl. And, sorry. So, anyway, so she gets the saliva DNA test. And the lab for this that the state uses is not equipped to do the right proper testing for it. And so, they say it's like very shocking, but in the shocking agreement, her and the state are like, okay, we will do an outside lab, we'll get this tested. And the DA at this time has changed. And they think originally that's why Kevin was arrested to begin with, is the DA at the time was going through the election. And so they originally think that that's why. Anyway, so a new DA comes on and is like, yeah, we can do this. Let's test it. And so before Kevin even goes to trial, it's proven that it's not him. And he didn't do it through DNA. So he is released and the new DA is like, you can't prove what you can't prove, bro. He didn't do it. So he's off the hook. He got out. So that's really cool. That's really awesome that he was found innocent so quickly. You know what I mean? So anyway, the parents, once that they stay together through that a little bit, and so eventually the parents are rewarded because they sue the city, from what I understand. The state, and they get $15.5 million. It was later reduced down to $8.5 million in a federal civil rights lawsuit against the William County Sheriff's Office because of the way they got that confession. Like, she had it reenacted by actors and the Foxes, and it was like the clips that they played, even though it's in a 2020, you're like, what the fuck? Like, is that okay? Like, can officers really, like they were yelling at this woman in her face, like, you're gonna stay with the fucking baby killer, the guy who killed your baby? And, like, this woman could... I can't even imagine. Anyway. So, yeah. So, later on, the FBI takes on the case. And they're like, we really want to solve it. The one detective is like, this is my case. This is what I was made to do. This is what I was brought to this earth to do. And so she's like, we're going to start out like Riley just passed away today. Like, today's the day we find Riley. So we're going to go back. And when they go back to the neighborhood, some lady, they block her out in the 2020. I didn't look at the screen when she did the newer interview, so I don't know her name. But some lady gets a hold of the FBI and is like, I am so glad that you guys are here to investigate this, because I think maybe it's the guy I dated, because he's a little fucking creepy. And when they were walking through a memorial garden for Riley, I guess he made a, like, when she was like, can you believe someone did this to a little baby? Like, the way he was like, oh yeah, it's pretty fucked up, ain't it? Like, the way he said it, like, and was talking about it, she was just like, there's something about you. Ain't too keen on what you are talking about. So she just felt odd about the whole thing, so she just remembered it. And originally, he told the FBI agents, because he was already in jail on another crime. So he was in jail, and so when they go talk to him, the FBI, he immediately, when they're done talking, he calls his mom, and he's like, you need to drop everything and anything and get to the jail and see me now. Like, come and see me. I'm not going to be able to hug you, kiss you where I'm going. Like, you need to come now. So his mom... Oh my god, I cannot stop yawning. Weird. His mom is like, what the fuck? And he tells her, he confesses to her, the mom, his mom, Scott's mom, that he murdered Riley. And so it's insane. Like, originally, so he writes a suicide note saying what happened, detailing what happened, and addresses it to those FBI agents, and then he tries to kill himself. Didn't work. Yeah, didn't work. So now they have it in writing. So now they go back to him, because having it in writing, that's all good and dandy. But you need to know more. You need to, like, vet it out. Obviously. You've already charged one man and he's gotten sent home free because you were fucking lying. So they go talk to him, and he originally says, no, I'm going to get a lawyer. And then when they're leaving, he, like, looks up at the video camera, and he's like, hey, if you can hear this, Niner, if you can hear this, I'll tell you what happened. And so he goes and tells what happened. So I guess he is a career burglar guy. He breaks into your home. And he gets a little chub when he breaks into your home and you're there. Sleeping. People, lock your doors. Anyway, so he breaks into the neighbor across the street. He slits the screen. He breaks in. She has $40. That's all he takes. He leaves. Then he goes across the street to where the Foxes live. Front door is locked. Back door broken. So he goes in He sees everybody sleeping. He walks around the home and he cannot find anything that he deems worthy enough to steal. So he says for some reason, he doesn't know why, but he just was like, hey, you don't have anything for me to steal, I'm going to steal your kid. And he says he obsesses over her for like, while she's sleeping, he just like something happens, he turns around, takes her off the couch, he puts his hand on her mouth, takes this precious little 3-year-old baby girl, puts her in the trunk of his car. Could you imagine being 3 years old, being woken up by some scary looking dude and then shoved into a back of a fucking car in a trunk? Like, I can't even imagine. And so he takes her to the park where he kills her and he rapes her in the bathrooms. And he then realizes that his bandana that he was wearing had fallen down, so she now has seen his face, and he thinks for some reason that this 3-year-old girl cannot not be saved. Like, she has to die. Like, what kind of fucking monster? And so that's what he does. She has like significant hits to her head, and she, like I said, she's bound, she's taped, and then her actual cause of death was drowning. And so he pleads guilty, obviously. He gets life with no parole, and I don't even know. I don't even know. And when he killed her, he was already on parole. He only lived like a mile away from her house. Like, I don't know. It's so sad. It's so sad. Like a baby, and like even, and it made me fucking just so mad. Even in the interrogation, he calls them babies. He's like, the babies were sleeping in the living room. Like, what the fuck possesses you to steal a baby? A 3-year-old little girl. And dude, when I say that her and her dad had like the most beautiful fucking connection you've ever seen, they really did. And like, my daughters love their dad. That is their best friend. And like, that's the vibe you got. Like, this little girl loved her dad. And not only does this piece of shit murder her, violate her in a way that no 3-year-old should ever experience, he has to tell them that her dying words are, I want my daddy. Like, are you fucking, oh God. When people do that, dude, I get so mad. Like, who the fuck are you? And he knows that the dad was wrongfully, like, accused of this whole entire thing. And then you find out when you're talking to this piece of shit that he fucking tried to kill himself that day. God, it didn't work. But when they got to him, he was asking questions about her. Did they find her yet? Do they know what happened to her? And he thought in his head, he's like, I'm about to be busted. And he wasn't. It was like 6 fucking years later. All because cops get those blinders on and like they just refuse to say, I'm wrong. Or hey, maybe we shouldn't jump to just accusing this man who lost his daughter. Maybe we should do, I don't know, an investigation. And then when they investigate, the son, when they ask the son what happened, the woman who fucking questions him is so harsh on him. This little boy is in tears, and not just like wiping a couple away. No, he is hyperventilating. He is crying so horribly. Like, this whole family just went through just a horrific, I can't even imagine. The parents ended up actually having another daughter together before they separated. And then now they have two separate beautiful families, the wife says. And so, like, I mean, I guess it turned out okay. But just no amount of money, no amount of love, heartbreak, or anything like that brings your baby back. And not only is there still going to be people in his community that still want to be like, I don't know, maybe he did do something. There's always going to be that whisper about him and about her and their child. And that stuff is just so sad and so heartbreaking. It's the cases like this that I like, when you don't know about them and then you find out about them and you learn about them. It's just, they did nothing wrong. You know what I mean? There was nothing that family did that was wrong. They didn't know Scott. They had no meetings with Scott. He was a worthless piece of shit drunk who broke into people's houses and robbed them. And then complete stranger comes in and takes your baby and does the worst thing anybody could ever do. Oh, I just hate the world. Oh, I just hate it sometimes. It's so sad. Like, I can't even imagine, and my heart breaks for parents who lose a child, because I can't imagine. I can't even imagine what that heartbreak is like and the devastation from that. Like, I can't even begin to even think, assume, or even guess what that would be like. And my heart breaks for every one of them, and it's just so sad. So that's the episode this week. So, Cynthia, let me know if you like it, doll. Hopefully you did. And so I just got to banter real quick and tell you guys a couple of things, and then we'll let you go on your week. The voting is still going until next Sunday for my local town's post registers People's Choice. It'd be pretty cool if you guys could vote for me. If you just go to People and Places and then scroll down to the local blog or podcast, you can find me right there. Just click vote. You can do it once a day until then. That'd be really, really cool. And my cousin is going to do my t-shirts and my hoodies for me. She has a company, and once I find all that information out, because I don't know right now off the top of my head, I will let you guys know, because she does so much more, and you can get more from her than just my merchandise. And so once a month I'll be putting in orders to her for like hoodies and shirts and all that type of stuff. So if you think you lost your chance, you didn't. It's fine. And then, what was it? Shit, I don't remember. I don't know. Today was a really weird day for me. I was in a grumpy mood all day. So, I don't know. It really started with Friday. For some fucking reason. Okay, so, I don't know why I let it grind my gears all weekend. But I don't know. I think I have a new garbage guy. I don't know. Maybe he's not new. I can't call and report this person, though, because I feel like an asshole. But this my damn trash, people, keeps being knocked over, like my trash can. And, like, it's not a big deal. Really, it's not. But, like, then the wind gets it. I gotta, like, go and get it. And it turns into a thing. And, like, I have 2 garbage cans. And one of them is usually put down very nicely. And it's like the other one, I don't know if the trash man hates people that have 2 trash cans. I don't know. But it's always, like, in the wrong spot. And the week before... Okay, so this isn't just like, oh, she's bitching because her trash can wasn't put back right. No, the week before, they didn't, like, a whole bunch of fucking trash fell out, I guess, and my garbage can was, like, in a whole other part of my area, and, like, there was trash everywhere, and, like, this happened, like, right as I was pulling up to my house. My husband sees it, so then we're outside picking up the garbage and, like, tracking down our fucking trash can, and, like, you know this trash guy sees it, and he can't just be like, hey, sorry about that. No, doesn't say dick. And then you do it the following week again, and I told my husband, I said, okay, you know, and normally, because I'm getting off of work, I'm cranky, I'm a little cuntish. Normally, I would call and yell at somebody and make somebody just as irritated about it as I am. Normally, that's my vibe. I'm a Karen. I like to Karen people sometimes. And I didn't. I thought about it. And somebody I know just started a new job doing that kind of occupation. And so I'm like, you know what? Benefit of the doubt. Let's chalk it up to this is this dude's first day. Okay? I've never worked the machine thing that lifts the thingy to the garbage thingy and it tips it and it shakes it and it lowers it. I've never done it. So for all I know, there's 5 million switches in that bitch and it's confusing. So I was like, okay. Let's just pick it up. It'll be fine. Calmed the husband down. We picked it up. And what it was the worst part about it was like, so I have a trash can for like the dog poo and like the gross shit that I despise. And it was that can. So I'm picking up dog shit twice over. I have 2 fucking dogs. And so there's a lot of poo. So I calm the husband down, we pick it up, we go about our day. Then the week next, it happens again. And so I'm like irritated. And I don't know why on Sunday I was so irritated about it. But I was. And so I was like, ugh. I was cleaning. That's what it was. I was cleaning. I was taking things out to my garbage can. And I'm like, I don't know why the fuck I'm putting it in the garbage can. Because if I put it in the garbage can, douche on Friday is going to come put it back on the ground. And I'm going to have to pick it back up myself. So I'm just getting really irritated. Just, you know. There's probably like some serious underlining to that I haven't figured out, like why I'm such an emotional fuck. And no, don't be a dick. It's not the monthlies. So I don't know. I just don't know what's going on with the world lately. Maybe it's because I'm going to rant to you about Walmart real quick. And I like to keep my Walmart life kind of off the podcast in a way, because I don't want to get fired for anything I say. But right now I'm not on the clock and I can say whatever I want. But so Walmart gives they're calling it an incentive, right? To get vaccinated. They're going to pay you $75 to do this. I think it's a bribe, and I don't think it's okay. Because for one, where I live, here in Idaho Falls, there is no longer a mask mandate. Okay? We are having rodeos, monster trucks. I mean, we're getting back to our Idaho ways. No, mask free. Masks off. They're done. We don't need them. We don't want them. We didn't like them to begin with. Kapooey on them. We're done. And normally at nighttime when there are no customers in the store, I'm usually pretty much by myself. So I don't wear one anyway. And like, they're using the words like integrity. Like, you can, because when you come to work, you answer a bunch of questions on an app. You say, no, I'm not sick. No, my tummy doesn't hurt. No, I don't have a fever. No, I haven't been around anybody caca. Like, you answer no. And then you come in the door, they take your temperature, they give you a mask, you go about your day. You clock on, you go about your damn day. When I'm coming at night, there's usually no one there to temp you, so we answer the questions, we go about our day, we clock on. And now I guess there's going to be a little section at the bottom that's going to be like, are you vaccinated? And if you push the vaccination button and you're like, yes, I am, you don't have to wear a mask. But they want people during the day, I'm assuming, I don't really know, during the day, but if they're not vaccinated, they still have to wear their masks. Now, if they choose to, totally fine. Like, that is completely okay. I'm not judging you either way. If you get vaccinated and you feel comfortable being vaccinated, by all means, do you. I just don't know. Like, I don't feel comfortable enough, and I don't feel acknowledged enough. Like, I don't know enough. I just don't feel comfortable. So at this point in time in my life, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to inject myself with something I'm not comfortable with and that I don't know. And so, why I feel like it'll be like a bullied situation. Because when you work at Walmart, it's like working at in high school, but you get paid for it. Yes, there's a bunch of amazing people. I work with very, very amazing people. But there's still the drama aspect to it. Like, I have the best managers. They are honestly the best. I bump heads with some. I don't bump heads with others. Like, the store manager is a really good guy. Like, the store I work for is a great store. But there's still the bullshit side to it. That, like, nobody, like, we all just talk about it like it's okay. And getting, like, peer pressured / bullied into being a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, who was it? Nancy? Is it Nancy Reagan? Isn't she the one that started the drug campaign? Like, just say no. Like, if you don't want to do it, all you have to do is say no. When it comes to a drug, when it comes to anything, you just say no. And I don't know. You get this side eye from people, and it's like they bully you with their fucking faces. And, like, I don't know. I'm just really irritated for my friends, mainly. And maybe that's what started out my day shitty, and it wasn't the garbage man. Maybe that's what it was. Like, I have friends that I work with, that I don't work with them, they work during the day, but they have, like, severe medical issues. These people cannot take this vaccine. It's like it could possibly kill them. And they don't have to wear a mask anywhere else. And then they have to come to their workplace and be stuck in that disgusting feeling of a mask. Like, I'm sorry, but you cannot tell me that the masks aren't caca on your face. Like I don't have skin issues, but like where my mask sits and stuff, it's just dry. It's gross. I don't like if you don't think you need it and you're not in a mandated place to where you have to wear it. Like our governor has come out and said, y'all gather. Gather like you've never gathered before. So like we're gathering. Except for like when you go to like Walmart, Costco, Winco. All those places, they're still like, nope, mask up. And like that's fine. I get it, because companies like them do have businesses and buildings and stuff in other states that are still under mask mandates. So like I get it why the store itself hasn't been like, okay, you don't need to do it anymore, pull it back. I get it. But I don't know. Really grinds my gears. I don't think your workplace should be able to pay you to do it. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't like the world today. I just don't like it nowadays. I don't know. I did find out though, someone messaged me and asked me about my brother and my little brother. He will be getting sentenced soon. We think he's going to get sent to the federal prison in by Oregon, he thinks, or Colorado. So one of those two. I don't know. I know I can get weed when I go there. That's all I know. So, and if anybody wants a pen pal, he's a legit kid. He's like 25, 26. I'm not sure how old he is. He's my little brother. He's not in jail for anything crazy. I mean, I know I just said federal prison, but it's just for pot and some acid, I think. He lived next to a school when he got his drug bust, and so it did not help matters. That comes with enhancements. But, yeah, he's looking for a pen pal. I don't know. A couple of you guys were like, you never said what happened to your brother with the drug bust. You just brought it up like it was cool and never said anything else. And because we're still waiting. COVID and everything else happened, so he's just chilling in the federal jail, waiting to go to the federal penitentiary. So, I don't know. He's just hanging out. Both my brothers are just still in jail. Thanks for rubbing it in. Just kidding. I like that you guys care enough about my family to ask. So yeah, you guys have a blessed week. You need a pen pal? Hit me up. I'll give you his info. And yeah, I like all of you. Not like, I like you. I love all of you. Yeah, that feels better. Just kidding. All right. I love you guys. Have a great week, and we'll see you again. And please keep in mind, my brother is still missing. His name is Nikos Tessman. He is 5'11". He has a tattoo across his back that says Ghost. He has dirty blonde hair. He's kind of getting balder, actually. So look for like a bald spot. He likes to skateboard around and ride the bus around California, around the Oakland area, kind of. He was last seen and liked going to Washington Park in Alameda, California. He has not talked to his mother or reached her or done anything since February of 2020. We were involved in asking help from the Oakland Police Department, and that has not gone anywhere. So we have turned to the Sheriff Lumpkin here in Idaho, and she has taken over this, and the number for her is 208-879-2232. If you have any information, you can also contact her on Facebook. It's Sheriff Lumpkin. And once again, his name is Nikos Tessman from the California area. His mother lives in Clayton, Idaho, and we would just love to get any information anybody has out there and just keep his name out there. So if you've seen him, heard of him, anything like that, please let me know. And we truly, truly appreciate everybody sharing it and praying for his safe return. Thank you. You guys, my podcast made it into the voting round of the local newspapers, Post Registers, People's Choice. I would really, truly appreciate it if I could get everybody's vote that listens to this for the month of May. It would mean the world to me. If you could, it would just be amazing and awesome. I share the link on every one of my social media pages, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Facebook. And you can vote once a day, every day, for the whole month of May, till not the whole month because it ends on the 23rd, but just vote. Vote, vote, vote. This is the only voting you will ever hear me ask you to do. Vote, vote, vote.